Well, we're back here again in the final hour before, literally the job action trailer. And I just wanted to go over this really quickly, as the Viper guy, the snake simp, the lizard lover, as it were, Oh, just to jump straight into it, I was basically finally going through the benchmark proper, putting in my character, doing the gear and stuff, looking at the Viper weapons, because that's what I was mostly interested in. Which is when a very intriguing bit popped up, in retrospect, before I just kind of brushed it aside as a technical issue. But when you're equipping the Grand Company gear, the Viper weapon that you get is basically a cutlass. It's like a single-edged sword. So when you combine into the twin blade mode, it's facing the same direction for each blade, which is not how Zidane's Thieves Swords work. Now, I don't really want to get too into this because, I kind of want to save the content for a future video. But Zidane is a character that essentially has two weapon sets. He has his regular daggers and then he has Thieves Swords. Now, Thieves Swords are kind of his most iconic gimmick. When he was put into Dissidia, he basically used a dagger set known as the Mage Mashers, and he would combine them into a Thieves Sword as he was fighting. Even though this wasn't the mechanic in Final Fantasy IX, it was just kind of a gimmick for Dissidia. Well, I don't want to say gimmick, it's kind of his core mechanic, but when you think about Zidane, you think of like the combined Mage Masher's Thieves Sword. And interestingly, the Thieves Swords for Final Fantasy IX, they always are two blades facing the opposite direction if they're single-edged swords, unlike with Viper. So now again, at first I thought this was like a mistake or a mishap or something like that, or possibly it could just be this one specific set of twin blades. But you know whose twin blades do actually face the same exact direction? Gabronth. Now this is a big reach for brainworms, but it got me thinking about the mechanics of Gabronth and how he works, since his twin blades are so similar. And we do know that with these more original jobs, like with Gunbreaker, they're sort of like a combination or a chimera of multiple different, characters in the series that might represent or use that specific weapon. Now, this could be an entire video on its own, just the subject of Gabronth and the way he plays in like spin-off Final Fantasy games, or even just the way he plays in the Final Fantasy XII game, but I'll just be giving a cursory look of how he interacts with twin blade and dual blades. It'll be very quickly, I won't waste too much of your time. Now, Gabronth, my main man. In Final Fantasy XII, he mostly auto attacks with his dual blade mode, before they're combined, but he will always combine into his twin blade mode when he's using really big and heavy attacks that are usually AoE and do a lot of damage. Like, I'm saying they'll probably one-shot even your, most HP buffed character in 12. Now, in contrast to Viper, or from what we've been told about Viper, in Dissidia, from what I've researched, it seems like he's just very weak when he's first in his twin blade mode, and that's his starting mode. It's only when he enters into his EX mode, where he actually separates the twin blade, that he gets a lot of his more powerful moves, where he actually gets access to HP moves and such. Now, disclaimer here, I don't know the exact differences between these two games, like the real intricacies of them, but when I looked at Dissidia 012 and Dissidia NT, it seemed like his game plan was in stark contrast to how it was in Dissidia, where he seems to be actively sort of switching between his EX mode and has a more of a strong focus on swapping, and this sort of combination between like playing passively keep away and then, going in really hard with your EX mode and doing devastating attacks, right? And of course I'll link all the stuff that I use for research in the video, the channels and the like and the guides. But yeah, in general, it seems like his main abilities were stuff like Sentence, Guilt, and Innocence, which are, all themed on, law and judging and stuff, which probably they won't be the same exact names for Viper, but it's just nice to know these things, and how that sort of theme of swapping between, using your dual blades and then combining them into your twin blade for devastating attacks has really been carried through with Gabronth, because Gabronth feels like he's more of a melee fighter, more of a, get in there down and dirty slash than Zidane, who is kind of a very flighty, magical based character, I think, from my perspective. Obviously, Viper will be a combination of both Zidane and Gabronth in a way, but I think it's interesting to give this just a very quick look, especially with the way that like these weapons are kind of paying homage to Gabronth. I'm sure that there will be a weapon set that will look more similar to the Mage Masher and how traditional Thieves Swords looked for Zidane. But for now, this was a pretty nice and fun road to go down. Oh yeah, also, we never really saw the ability from the trailer being used, so I wonder if that actually does imply that the twin blade actions are just a separate set of actions you can go into whenever, but maybe you use the ability to get certain buffs and the like? Who knows? It's, it's kind of up there. Who knows? I'm gonna save the rest of my brain power for the job action trailer, which I am incredibly hyped for, and I hope you are too. This was, again, just gonna be a quick little video that I wanted to put out covering Gabronth and the like. But yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking around. Thanks for all the comments again and the support. I will be covering the job action trailer. I'll probably do something like a reaction video very quickly, and then do another breakdown video. My poor brain cells. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any theories that you want to share as well, please put them down in the comment section, and I hope to see you again.
Bye 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 bye.